that, you know, how my director is approaching the script. Is he sensitively seeing everything?
थोड़ा सा ऊंचा बोलिए, मुझे लगता है कि
हाँ,
शायद एंड तक नहीं जाए.
So
आई नो आपका गला खराब है मगर थोड़ा सा.
मैं जैसे ही ऊंचा होती हूँ थोड़ा खांसी आ जाती है.
दोनों बीमार हैं.
आई नो वी वेरी थैंकफुल कि बीमार होने की वजह से भी अपना जज्बा.
अब आप सब बीमार हो जाओगे.
तुम होए क्या?
I'm fine. I'm not human anymore.
तो जैसे अभय ने अभी कहा ना कि आपका डायरेक्टर किस तरीके से स्क्रिप्ट को अप्रोच कर रहा है. इज ही सेंसिटिवली राइटिंग एवरीथिंग, इज ही सेंसिटिवली सीइंग एवरीथिंग. तो इनफैक्ट मेरा मतलब मैं पहले बहुत मतलब इमोशनली स्क्रिप्ट को मैं पहले देखती हूँ कि ये मूव कर रही है नहीं मुझे. And what exactly is telling me the script. It has to talk to me, okay, this is what you're getting out of this script. And that's how I read first. See, honestly, it is a huge opportunity for me to work with a director like Prashant Nair, whose work I really admire. तो पहले तो ये था कि अच्छा my first tick mark था क्योंकि Prashant is there. You know, and then the script, of course, I gone through the whole details of the case, Neelam and Shekhar's case, and the whole Upahar thing, and I'm like, I'm so honored to actually, you know, play this part. तो मतलब वो दूसरा tick mark था. फिर script आई हाथ में, then तीसरा tick mark था. So everything was properly tick marked for me. And while approaching Neelam also, you know, I like. Of course, as he said, we don't want to, maybe there is a little resemblance, but not clearly, because she's a little different kind of built and everything. But as Prashant's brief was, you know, you have to make it like it's you. You have to find that emotional truth कि ये जो भी कुछ है इसमें, how you can be there in that situation and how will you handle that. So वही होता है कि as an actor आप emotionally उसको अपना बना लेते हो और अपना बनाने की पूरी तरह से कोशिश करते हो. आप पूरा स्किन नहीं बन सकते हो किसी भी कैरेक्टर का, पर आपको वहाँ तक पहुँचना है, उस रियलिज्म में पहुँचना है जिससे आप लोगों को लगे कि हाँ अरे मैंने फील किया. उसने सिर्फ देखा और मुझे लगा कि अरे उसने कितने सारी बातें कह दी उसमें कि वो कितना गुस्सा है और उसे क्या क्या कहना था, बट शी जस्ट लुक्ड एंड शी जस्ट सेड एवरीथिंग. तो वो आपको अंदर से कैरी ही करना पड़ेगा. देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू परफॉर्म इन अ वे.
Yeah, that's I think important. What stopped you from a temptation of doing the same story but in a little more dramatic manner?
Being polite.
No, that's how I've learned it from him. That we are exploring the question.
I think they were.
और चाय मंगवाऊँ वो वाली मैं आपके लिए? अरे दत्तू हॉल्स देना.
गरम पानी भी.
हाँ, गरम पानी लाओ.
मेरे भी लेना चाहिए actually.
हाँ.
Why not?
चाय और लाओ. Sorry.
I think just because they were real people who've gone through these things, so I think all departments, and I think all of you also, were very aware of the responsibility of it's someone who's you know, who's potentially still alive or whose family is alive, who we're going to be portraying on screen. So you know, we need to be respectful and sensitive, and always ask the question: are we being exploitative? You know, and I think, you know, as working with all of you, I very much felt that you all were also, you know, always asking yourselves that question, as was every single department. So is there, and then also just very frankly, I think audiences are, you know, they understand that, you know, what we are reading is that people are appreciating that we didn't, in the performances or in the design of it, we didn't tell them what to feel. We just tried our best to present the situation and to embody it, but then let them kind of, and this is the big debate, you know, are the audiences ready for it, are they not? And I think they are. I think really they are. You know, there's just not, you know, we're still operating in an older fashion where we need to push it onto people, whereas people understand it, you know. And I think also for actors, that's amazing to let the audience draw it out of you. You know, that it has more impact. You know, if you're telling the audience what to feel, or if you're just being, and the audience is pulling out of it and projecting, then the performance becomes very powerful. And yeah, I think.
So all of us, all three of us, must have worked with directors who are not very expressive as actors, whose brief is not what you. He was very good with at least telling us this is what he wants, and this is the percentage he wants. No, maybe you can cut this, maybe you can bring this. What happens when you work with directors who are not, who are very good directors, but not necessarily good with actors, do not know how to draw emotions, how to draw feelings? What do you depend on then? अभी मत बोलना कि मैंने ऐसे डायरेक्टर के साथ काम नहीं किया.
No, I was going to say quite the opposite. It's not often that happens, but it happens.
It happens, of course.
Like in Devdi, Anurag didn't direct me at all. He didn't say anything. Like he just let me be. But then that was an idea that I'd come up with and a character I knew. So it wasn't even like I was asking him. And I think he allowing me to do my thing and not saying anything in terms of as a director to an actor encouraged me to think, okay, so what I'm doing must be right. And I continued doing that.
I have
and
a
he was
question
happy.
in between for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes a director thinks the form is much more important than the
Yes,
actor.
there are those directors
है
too.
ना? बोलता है, मैं मुझे चाहिए आप. There was a very famous art house director who said कि मैं actors को furniture की तरह इस्तेमाल करता हूँ. मैं किसी से भी acting करवा सकता हूँ.
Yeah.
In the other room, I'll tell you the name of the director.
Okay.
I never worked with him.
Hanji.
So-
And what you were saying earlier, that I would rather a director inspire me than just be like, "Arey yaar, why don't you get it out?" Like, then get stressed.
Yeah.
Or like shout at the actor. Like there are very famous directors who are well known to break the actor. You know,
Yes.
physically, emotionally. They feel that if I break you, I get a real clean, honest performance out of you. I think those directors have a handicap because there are directors like him who will not break you and will be very patient and will speak you through it. And you realize in his grace, he's inspiring you. In his directions, he believes in you. And that kind of director is a very healthy director to work with because you come back learning something. And the other director who will break you and get a performance out of you, no doubt, but he clearly can't inspire you. And he has the arrogance to think that he's some maestro, he or she, that breaking you has, because you couldn't be capable of performing had you not been broken, which is entirely untrue. You don't have to be broken to perform. And don't ever let anybody teach you that. If you find yourself there, then just live through it, because most of these directors are very big and you can't say anything. And it's so easy to manipulate them, just pretend like you're broken. You know.
I used to do.
Seriously, yeah, they're not worth it.
What about you, Rajshri? How will you? Have you experienced something like this where the director is very good in his craft and the writing is very good, but he is not able to tell you what he is not very communicative or he is not capable of? What do you do then?
Though I have not done a lot of work, I have done very little work, and independent cinema I have done, and couple of them have really inspired me, but couple of them really broke me, you know. And as Abhay likely said, that you know, it's very difficult if you don't have a director who break you but don't inspire you, who don't understand the process to get you back also, like you know. So it was a really tough time for a couple of, I won't be able to name the
No, please, we
projects,
don't.
but it was very difficult for me to come back because, and when you don't have a sensitive team, like you are portraying a scene or something, and you're into tears after that, and then everyone is like, why is she crying? Like, oh, why is she quiet? Like, okay, come on, like you have to move for the next scene, and you're like, it's just, I just need one, like just give me 30 seconds to breathe because I've just finished something. But a lot of people don't understand that kind of a space where you're like, they look at you like, okay, means like, hello, get up and you know, move.
Yeah.
So I think that sensitivity is very less in our industry. Like there are people, I'm glad, But there are many people, maybe one of them will have that kind of a thing, but other may not have. You know, that the cameraman will come and like, you know, you're preparing and the camera will, "Arey, light lay yahan pe," and then someone will come and dab you with this thing. So it's very, you know, it's not just a one department in our industry. We have to have every department sensitive. If they don't understand,
Sorry.
yeah. If they don't understand that, you know, ki what we actors are going through, how vulnerable we are when we are performing, and if they don't give us the comfort, or they don't, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, just spoon feed us or do everything, but just a comfort, a basic comfort, कि हम prepare करें, हम scene करने वाले हैं, आप ये मत करिए, अच्छा हाँ अपनी आप यहाँ पे करिए, अरे, so the whole manhandling which happens on set is very, like, you know, I feel I can't work on such sets now. I can't work on where, you know, screaming, shouting happening, and, you know, people are not focused. Nobody knows what script is. मतलब कितनी बार होता है कि साउंड वाले को पता ही नहीं होता है क्या सीन क्या है.
So आप मतलब 80s में और 90s में तो बिल्कुल काम नहीं कर सकते. मैंने 38 सालों में 534 फिल्में की हैं.
I know.
और 534 में से मुझे स्क्रिप्ट सिर्फ 50 का मिला होगा. बाकी सारी फिल्में, and yet I am, with all my respect, and actually they have made great films. कई बार तो ऐसा होता था कि राइटर सुबह सुबह लेके आता था सीन और बोलता था ताज़ा ताज़ा लिख के लाया हूँ.
मैंने ये देखा है बचपन में on set when I used to go.
ताज़ा ताज़ा